All right, so here comes the mobile AMA. My mobile posting workflow, though, is literally just clicking the top three little bars there and then your threads, and that's it. So let's see. What is a product you own that most people might not be aware of but you love? From Vesty News, I would say, I'm talking about most things that I love, but maybe some sort of productivity app, or I use one called Toggle, which is really useful and it auto tracks. Otherwise, I talk about most products that I use, other than, I don't know, I guess medical-y stuff or toothpaste, that kind of thing, lube, whatever. Will you PM a link to your thesis so I can read it? Sure, but it'll be unbelievably boring to 99.9% of readers. Thank you, Professor Platypus. You're very considerate, and there are no hooligans here. No jokers. Sorry you lost your interest. What can we expect next season? I was joking about this previously, but I would like to do a few episodes where I do some stupid shit, like go on Volley Tudo or AC Friend, the other boards, basically. Maybe I'll go on another forum. Maybe I'll go on fucking Reddit. Who knows? Who fucking knows? I'm open to suggestions. RPG, I scenario. You are in a barrel of vomit up to your chin, and someone comes to punch you in the face. Do you take the punch, or do you duck down into the puke? This is the most RPG question. I would probably just duck down in the puke. My life is fucked anyway. My day is fucked anyway. Might as well just not add injury to that. Oh, what's the easiest way to learn a new language? It's doing something called language immersion, where you just show up and live in the community that the target language is spoken in, and you basically learn the language through osmosis, and obviously through interfacing with community members who speak the language that you are trying to learn. What brands on Twitter never fail to make you laugh? Wendy's, Arby's. Did you find the PBR tweet about eating ass to be in poor taste as I did? Well, eating ass, if someone has... I was just going to make a bad joke about eating ass because there's a pun there. But I don't follow any brands, so I'm sorry, Vesty News. Do you think you should buy cat food even if you don't have a cat at home? No. When do you plan to purge the non-weebs? Probably when I ascend to my final form and adopt an anime icon. If you had to pick an anime icon, what would it be? It would probably be part of me would want to make it just like some weird, like the stereotype of the 12-year-old looking girl who's actually a 500-year-old dragon but she has like gigantic tits. But the other part of me would want to go like full anime king and make it like, like two characters holding each other, but they have yaoi hands for some reason. No to the first question. If you were CEO of Nintendo, what would you be doing right now? Well, I would be leaking 2022 to 2023 lineup information to quote unquote reputable leakers. Would you fuck a country girl, or do you have self-control? I have self-control. Thoughts on all things eerie and spooky? Well, I fucking love eerie and spooky things, but my partner does not, basically to a pathological extent. So we do not watch many eerie and spooky things in this household. So I'm unfortunately very behind, but I'm very much looking forward to, I think it's The Northman, which is directed by Robert Eggers. I saw the trailer only this weekend, and it looks fucking sick. Do you think you could pinpoint which is my most popular alt? Honestly, I didn't even know you had any alts. Waifu does know I post here. I'll mention it probably like once a week, I would say, just because I'll repost articles here or tidbits from articles. Do you ever question whether this is a good use of your time? I would say regularly, but only to the extent that I regularly question whether all of my life activities are good uses of my time, including like career stuff, you know? So, but I've looked at a lot of time spent and a lot of those self tracking statistics, and it's basically like if I'm not on the Vesti and I'm already not doing something productive, then I'm just not going to do anything. I'm only going to do Vesti adjacent things like go on different forums or play a video game or watch an episode of a series that, you know, whatever. It's meaningless. All equally meaningless. Am I horny? No. Am I made horny by liars? Yes. Can I explain on stream how Substacks work? I mean, they're just like newsletters. You get a lot of tracking statistics, and you can get paid for it. It's basically a much more streamlined. There's a lot of vertical integration going on with that, the blogging and the monetary aspect. My favorites, they're basically all blogs that I only partially agree with or actively disagree with. But basically, I like Astro Codex 10, who used to be Slate Star Codex, just because they all talk about pretty interesting topics, I would say. I don't really read or subscribe to Slow Boring, which is Matt Iglesias' one, but his content makes it to the discourse anyway. And then I guess a third is Freddie DeBoers, who is a quote-unquote Marxist teacher guy. And even then, I kind of disagree with a lot of what he says. But, yeah. Is it too late to ask if you make me horny? You make me horny, Cat Captor. It's all good.